Hey fam, what's good? I hope that you're all well and keeping safe. Welcome back to another one. I hope you all had an amazing weekend with the friends, with the family. I hope you all had an amazing week of trading as well. You know what? Whether this was a W week for you or an L week for you, you know what? I just hope that you have found yourself learning a lot, and what you have learned, you are going to apply it with this coming week. All right. So let's look at the NASDAQ, right? Let's look at the NASDAQ. Fam, quite interesting PA. If we are going to look at the monthly time frame. Right now, first of all, let's start off with the monthly and look at week structure. Right, week structure is telling me there is a high possibility that we can find ourselves having that further roll over towards the downside. Now, keep in mind that we are still having 26 days and 13 hours for us to find ourselves closing, right? So this dip which we have found ourselves creating was a huge one. This was a huge one. Leaving the question, since we literally have a whole month still left, right? What are we gonna do? Are we just gonna find ourselves tank down, or can we at least find ourselves having some sort of a pushback to the upside, right? However, let's look at what we currently do have and then focus on what we can potentially do, right? So if we're gonna look at these past or at these three candles right over here as well, right? Let's look at the low of the week structures. We can basically see that we do have now a low, higher low, lower low, right? And with us basically creating that lower low right over there, this simply means that, you know what? We have found ourselves taking out last month's low, as well as the previous month or the month prior to that, slow, right? And this simply means that our base is trying to flex the muscles, right? And are they flexing? Of course. Of course, they are flexing, right? And currently we can see that we are overly extended to the upside, right? So we actually do need that correction, right? We do need the correction. There's no need to stress, to panic whatsoever. Right? Yes, this push to the downside will find itself. If we can find ourselves having a pushback down, it will have an impact in our actual global economy, right? But if we are going to find ourselves having the push to the upside as well, it's all, you know what, is also going to find itself having an impact, right? Ultimately, we just need to find ourselves following PA. All right. So looking at the monthly time frame, I can see that we did find ourselves creating an inversion fair value gap right over there, which is a potential point of interest to where we can head over into, right? That is approximately 600 pips back towards the downside, right? 600 pips is quite a lot. 600 pips is quite a lot. Now, let's ask the question, is it making sense for us to, you know what, find ourselves heading all the way back down there, right? Fam, listen, keep in mind that we do have this trend line over here as well. Like that, we do have the trend line, right? Not only is it a trend line, but a channel as well. If I can copy and clone it and maybe just place it on the highs like that, right? Or maybe if I can just draw it out properly for you guys. That's the swing high. That's our swing high. Copy and clone. Place it in our lows, right? Place it on the lows. We can basically see that we do have the first, we do have the second, we do have the first on the low, we do have the second. So can we come back down for the third touch, right? And that's basically what I do have my eye out on. All right. Now, over the course of last week, we basically said that we want to see price have a push towards the upside and then have the push back down, right? And we can see that we did have the push back towards the upside. Was it a surprise that we have found ourselves coming all the way back down from this area? No, right? No, it wasn't. Simply because we did find ourselves having this beautiful area of supply right over there. Price literally tapped into it, and then we had to shift back down, right? So it was not surprising to see the shift back towards the downside. But since price already found itself having a few untested magnets above, right? It was a little bit sketchy to why we had to shift back down, and I will show you guys in a minute, right? But looking at the weekly time frame, Here we can simply see that our pattern has found itself creating over here as well. Low, lower low. We found ourselves creating that higher high right over there as well. All right. So boxing out this up close candle right over there, we can simply see once we had the closure above, we came back for the retest, we had that shift back to the upside, right? So is that area significant? No, it is not anymore, right? It's not as significant no more. However, we can see that price did find itself creating an inversion fee value gap once again, lining up within a fee value gap as well. Right, so this is a significant area to which I have my eye out on, right? As we can simply see that once we created the fee value gap right over there, right, prices simply found itself closing above, never came back for the retest. So you know what, I do have this area as a point of interest to where we can find ourselves heading back into, right? Keep in mind that this inversion fee, well, this volume imbalance or little gap which we have found ourselves creating over there, I want to keep that open as well, right? This over here is the inversion fair value gap, but this little gap, I also want to keep that open as that is also serving as a potential point of interest to where we can find ourselves having some sort of a reaction from, right? So scaling to the daily time frame, right? Now, the reason to why I said that it was quite sketchy is simply because of this gap, this little gap which we have find ourselves creating right there, right? I wanted to see price fill up the gap. However, we just find ourselves tapping within our actual order block. We just find ourselves having a further shift back down, right? But is that something that we have control over of? No, we don't have, right? The movements of the market itself, we don't have control over that. We can just simply find ourselves doing the technical analysis and you know, just move based on that, right? Now, let's see with current PA, what do we have, right? What do we have? I do have this area of resistance boxed out right over there, right? I'm going to keep that area open just as it is currently, right? And then we can see below price, we also do have a beautiful, beautiful swing low right over there. And I would like to see this swing low being violated, coming through as sell side, right? If we can see price violate the low, right, I will then look for some beautiful, beautiful longs towards the upside. And then from this area, a further shift back down, right? A further shift back down. Or simply, if we're going to find ourselves remaining bearish, wait for the shift, see if we can have a reaction from this area, and then potentially look for some further continuation moves back towards the upside, right? So looking at our H4 time frame, right? Looking at our H4 time frame, one thing that we can see is that we are still bearish in market structure. Okay, check this out. We have a high, we have a higher high, right? Now let's look at the lows. We have a low, we have a lower low. Okay, now with us basically creating this lower low and with us wanting to see the shift back towards the upside, we want to see a change in market structure. And can we currently say that we can see the move back up? No, we can't, simply because there's no change in market structure, right? So we do need to see a proper change in market structure, maybe taking out liquidity right over there, have some sort of a closure, you know what, and then we can potentially find ourselves looking for that beautiful, beautiful shift back towards the upside. However, if we are just simply going to find ourselves coming all the way back down, right, I'll just simply wait for another change in structure so that I can find myself looking for some beautiful, beautiful short, well, long opportunities back into this region right over there. All right, so me, Diego, over the course of this week, what will I be primarily focusing on? Right, I will find myself wanting to look for some beautiful longs to find itself opening up. Right, I would like to see some beautiful, beautiful longs finding itself opening up. Fam, keep in mind that I am a scalp trader, right? So every day I'm finding myself coming to the charts, and all I'm trying to do is see whether we are going to have a push towards the upside during the New York session, or are we going to have a pushback towards the downside during the New York session, right? But I'm using my higher time frame as a directional bias to where I would like to see price hit back into. All right. And on this current moment, what do you think? What will I do? I will wait for a proper change in market structure so that I can find myself looking on taking price long. The first point of interest will simply be, you know what, if we can just grab out the Fibonacci from the high to the low, right? It will basically be back into the 50 percentage, right? Wherever that candle is going to find itself, opening up, or rejecting from. All right, so that right there is my outlook on this beautiful pair called the NASDAQ, right? I would like to see some beautiful longs finding itself opening up throughout this week. And yeah, fam, listen, trade safe. Much love from me, your boy D. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out.